Today, what is today? Today is Thursday, September 17th, 2015. Sorry, I have to look at that. I'm Fran Duval, your host for today, and I'm happy to begin the show today with our volunteer coordinator, Catherine Nobles. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, well, thank you for having us.
Okay, and we're getting used to each other, you know, you haven't been a year yet here, right? About 4 months?
2 months.
2 months. Gosh, I thought it was longer.
Well,
maybe we met you like a month before you
true,
actually
true.
came. Elka came on and introduced.
That's right.
And Catherine, you have brought two people who don't live here as our guest today, to talk to us about a new Fairfax County program. Well, new to us. Fairfax County program.
Absolutely.
So would you introduce your guests?
My pleasure. So I have two guests today. Dorothy and Pat are here today from a program called Grand Involve that we're kicking off here at Green Spring. It's a great partnership that we are thrilled to do. And it's targeting a local school. So we're going to have residents go to this local school to help support the classroom. We're very excited about that. I wanted to point out that after this live broadcast on September 17th at 11 o'clock, please come down to the Village Square classroom. We have beautiful cupcakes and nice teacher apples, and we're going to have an information session to give a little more information about the program. Also, people can always call me whether they want to volunteer for this particular program or the many opportunities we have on campus.
And this is a new opportunity. Now, Catherine, how does this compare to the current program, or it was current, I don't know if they're still doing it, of our residents going into the schools to volunteer and doing some remedial business or whatever? Is that kaput and this is replacing it, or?
Well, there are residents that do go to some of our local schools, and that will continue on. This program in particular is partnerships. So we have a lot more support systems, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that, about the complimentary transportation we're providing, and about the support system that Grand Involved can offer our residents. So it's much more structured, much more support for success for the students and our volunteers.
Do we know which school that anybody from Green Spring will be going to if they volunteer to do this?
This particular program we do, and I'm going to throw it over to Dorothy, and she's going to be able to tell us a little more information. We're very thrilled.
This is Dorothy, let me get your last name right, Dykes.
No, I'm Dorothy
No,
Keenan.
you're Dorothy. Keenan.
Keenan, yes.
I should have had the names situated where the seating is. Okay. Well, Dorothy, tell us what opportunities there are for us. Well, first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am retired from Fairfax County, where 5 years ago, and when I retired, I was the supervisor of the 13 senior centers.
Okay.
So I've been working in our community with our seniors for many years. And since I've retired, I'm doing what I consider an encore career in volunteering.
I love that title, encore career.
Encore career.
This is my encore career.
And encore is a career that gives you purpose and meaning. So it's a career that you are very interested in, that you've always wanted to do. So this is my encore career, and I'm volunteering. In fact, I work a lot in the community, and especially right now, I'm working with the Grand Involve program.
And do you work with any of the children, the students?
I also work with the children. In fact, the name Grand Involve.
I just wanted to ask. I was just going to ask
that. That's a great
that.
idea.
Tell me where that name came from.
Well, I'm a grandparent. And to me, that's my most important career. You know, I love being a grandparent. And ever since my children have been in school, I've been volunteering at the elementary schools.
Sure.
So when we had the opportunity to create a new intergenerational and intercultural program in our schools, I suggested the name Grand, because so many grandparents, you know, would like to volunteer in the schools.
And grandfathers are welcome as well.
Absolutely, grandparents, right. But it's not restricted to grandparents. Of course, at the I'm also volunteering at the schools that Grand Involve is involved in. And so we're actually looking for just older older people who are willing to volunteer in the schools. When our children are little, we volunteer in the school, but when our
Sure.
children graduate, we graduate. And our thought when we created Grand Involved was, why can't we bring older volunteers back into the school? You know, it's such great partnership, such a great intergenerational program. And our children, and I hope that we will be reducing ageism in our community
Yeah.
by doing something
Yeah,
like this, because the
exactly.
children are fascinated with the older volunteers that come in.
Yeah.
So that's how we came up with the idea of the name Grand Involve.
Okay. All right. And they're sanctioned by the county, correct?
Well, what happened was
Or is
about
it national? I mean,
this is a
No,
county
this
program.
is-
This
yeah.
is local.
Right.
A few years ago, the county wanted to know how best to serve people who are over the age of 50. So they held a series of forums, and there were about 15 of them throughout the county, and they attracted close to 900 people came. And they asked people what they wanted to see in Fairfax County as far as services and programs. And one of the key opportunities that people would like to see were intergenerational programs and a better understanding of the different cultures that live here. So I was on a subcommittee, and we formed the subcommittee, formed the Grand Involve. It's a Fairfax County initiative.
okay. Okay, so let's skip over to Pat.
Hi.
And let's see, give us a little bit of your background, Pat.
Okay, I'm Pat Dykus, and I'm ultimately a Grand Involved volunteer.
Okay.
My former career was in human resources, and I'm still currently certified through SHRM as a senior professional. However, I don't believe you ever retire.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that you move on and your priorities and your interests change. So I met Dorothy through the Lifetime Leadership Program, and when she began the Grand Involve initiative for Fairfax County, I volunteered to help her on that committee. And
Well, tell me something. I'm going to interrupt because, you know, we want to use, we want our residents to see how they would fit in. Tell me what a typical activity for any of our volunteers, if they got involved in Grand Involve. What would be a typical day?
Well, I can tell you a few things that I've done.
Okay.
When I come into the classroom and one
Well, how do you
one
get
little
to the
boy,
classroom?
Well, I drive there, but people from Green Spring will take a bus. And this is a wonderful partnership that we've developed with Grace Presbyterian Church in
Okay.
Springfield. And Grace has a brand new bus and a bus driver that they are willing to come here every Wednesday so that people will be able to go over on Wednesday mornings
So it'll
to
be a
Crestwood.
Wednesday morning activity.
That's
Okay.
right. The times will be from 9:30 pickup and return here at 12 noon.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So
that's good.
I forget
So-
the original question.
Well, the question was a typical day. And,
Oh, a
and
typical-
It
so
would
I
start
would-
with being picked up.
That's right.
You know.
And you would go into the classroom, and the teacher will already have an activity planned, and so she won't need to be interrupted from her classroom duties. She'll just, tell you, okay, today you're going to be working with so and so, and you'll be reading.
Okay.
She might be having them read to you. That's an important one.
Right.
Another, I used to do with kindergartners games that help them recognize their letters and the sounds of the letters. So there's actual little games that you can play with very simple instructions, so that anybody could pick up this game and do it with a small group of children. Now children have to know so much when they go to kindergarten, that the kindergarten readiness is very important, and many of the children in our low incomes for kindergarten. So we have a lot of work to help the kindergartners.
So
But
I'm going to interrupt
yeah.
a minute. Do you get involved in the classroom too, Pat?
no, I'm not a classroom volunteer.
Okay. You're more the administrative type, or
right.
or
Well,
connecting people together.
Yes.
Right.
Well, what I enjoy doing, and this is something that Grand Involve introduced to Crestwood Elementary, is these monthly activities where they have the children and the parents come into the schools. And for example, it'll be movie night, and all the kids will come in with their parents, and they'll have blankets and sleeping bags. They'll clear out the cafeteria, everybody sits down, and they'll play the movie Frozen for maybe 200 people, and the popcorn machine will be running. And
so they have these opportunities that you build into their day so that they don't have to go to the theater to see or rent the film or whatever.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to interrupt you again because our residents are going to want to know, is there a training session? I don't just walk in the first day and is there an orientation?
So the very first step is, hopefully if people can come today, September 17th at 11 o'clock to the Village Square classroom, we're going to be reviewing all the information, all the procedures.
And you get cupcakes.
And you get cupcakes. So the first step is obviously, if you can't make the session, come through the volunteer programs office. Call me, and my phone number is 703-923-3154.
And it's on the screen
Okay,
now.
wonderful. So that's the first step. Call, even if you can't make it today, I can walk you through the process. There is going to be an orientation, and we'll go over all that at the information session. And we're going to walk volunteers through this process. Crestwood representative will be there today as well. So it's a great opportunity for all that information.
You know, I recall when some of my friends, I never did it, going to the schools to help. But I know that some people sort of stopped going because the transportation became an issue. So this is a good opportunity. If you want to volunteer, you won't have to worry about your transportation. And that's a really big issue for our residents.
Absolutely.
And also, if I may add something, the bus is being provided by Grace Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, she mentioned.
And one thing Dorothy and I have worked on is the community outreach, and how thankful we are that they're providing this for us as a community service.
So,
I'd like to add something too about people not knowing what they want to do. And there will be the person who will be at our meeting this morning from the school is the school counselor. And the school counselor works with you individually to help you find the right position.
The right fit.
And the right fit to do
Exactly.
whatever. Do you like to do math? Do you like to do the reading? Do you want to just help the teacher make copies? So there are a variety of different opportunities, and we will work with you to get the right opportunity that you want to do.
and remember, residents, that we are an organization that does community outreach. And it's important in order for us to keep our status of the 401c3, did I say all that right? That we do community outreach. So I hope you'll take this opportunity to go to this meeting at 11 o'clock this morning. Those of you who will see this later, of course, you would have missed the meeting. So you can call Catherine and figure out everything. So unfortunately, the time has escaped us. I want to say thank you to all of you for coming, and the room you're going to be in is only right down the hall, so you'll be able to walk down there and start your class at 11.
That's right.
Or your
Orientation.
your program, yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
We're going to have a video roll-in on the Socrates Cafe coming up. So stay tuned now, because Justin's going to be here from Finance.